Did you know America now has two national anthems? Yes, two. And here's the crazy part. Most Americans can't even sing the words to the second one. It happened on live TV. The cameras zoomed in on the stadium, players stood tall, and suddenly, a song most people had never heard before started echoing across the field. The crowd looked around, confused. Some whispered, "Wait, what song is this? Did I miss something?" The NFL called it a gesture of unity. On the giant screen above the field, the message read, "It takes all of us." But for millions watching at home, it didn't feel like unity at all. It felt like division, because the song they heard wasn't the Star-Spangled Banner. It was something else, something now known as the Black National Anthem. But where did this song even come from? Why was it suddenly being played in America's biggest stadiums, with millions of viewers watching? To answer that, we need to rewind more than a century, all the way back to 1900, in Jacksonville, Florida. Two brothers, James Weldon Johnson and J. Rosamond Johnson, wrote a hymn for a school celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday. They called it "Lift Every Voice and Sing." At the time, no one thought it would become more than just a school performance. But something happened. That song didn't fade away. It traveled through black churches, through civil rights marches, through generations of families who saw in it a message of hope and resilience. Over time, it became so powerful that the NAACP adopted it as the Black National Anthem. Fast forward to today. What started as a hymn sung by schoolchildren is now played on live TV, before NFL games, right alongside the Star-Spangled Banner. For some, it's a proud recognition of history. For others, it feels like a second anthem dividing the country. And here's the question nobody wants to touch. Is America stronger with two national anthems? Or does it risk tearing the country apart? The NFL didn't just slip this song into the pregame lineup by accident. In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd and the wave of protests that swept across the nation, the league made a controversial move. They announced that "Lift Every Voice and Sing" would be played at the start of Week 1 games in every stadium across America. Now, imagine this. Millions of fans sitting in the stands, the cameras rolling, players lined up on the field. First, the familiar Star-Spangled Banner echoes across the speakers. But then, something new. A second anthem. A song many Americans had never even heard before. Reactions were immediate and divided. For black communities, it felt like long overdue recognition. A symbolic step, honoring centuries of struggle, resilience, and culture that had too often been erased from America's main stage. But for critics, it sparked outrage. Some called it identity politics on the 50-yard line. Others claimed it was proof America was more divided than ever. And here's where the story gets even stranger. Because this wasn't just about football anymore. It became a battlefield for bigger questions. Who gets to define American identity? Can one anthem truly represent all Americans? Or is a second anthem a necessary correction to history that ignored millions of voices? The moment the NFL made this decision, the controversy exploded far beyond the football field. Cable news anchors debated it nightly. Politicians jumped in, using it as ammunition for their culture wars. Some leaders praised the league, calling it a historic acknowledgement of black contributions to America's story. Others slammed it, accusing the NFL of bowing to woke pressure and dividing the nation. It wasn't just headlines. It was dinner table arguments, barbershop debates, and social media battles that went viral overnight. And here's the kicker. Players themselves were caught in the crossfire. Some athletes embraced the moment, proudly singing the words that had carried their ancestors through slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation. But others worried. Would fans turn on them? Would careers be at risk if they supported the second anthem too openly? The NFL had hoped this would be a gesture of unity. Instead, it revealed just how fragile that unity really was. Because behind every cheer and every boo, one haunting question remained. Was America ready to honor two anthems? Or was the country about to split even further down the middle? Inside the stadium, the divide was impossible to ignore. On one side, you had fans standing proudly, some with tears in their eyes, holding hands over their hearts as the Black National Anthem echoed through the air. For them, this was history, a moment their grandparents never thought they'd live to see. But just a few rows away, another story unfolded. Fans slouched in their seats, arms crossed, scrolling through their phones, waiting for the real game to begin. Some booed quietly. Others laughed, shaking their heads. To them, this wasn't unity. It was politics invading their sacred Sunday ritual. And then came the viral clips. Cell phone videos flooded TikTok and X, showing fans walking to grab beers during the song, or deliberately sitting down as cameras rolled. One video showed a young black boy singing with his whole chest, while two men behind him mocked the lyrics. It broke millions of hearts online. By the end of the night, it wasn't just about a football game anymore. It was about what those stadium reactions revealed: two Americas, sitting side by side, watching the same performance, but hearing two completely different songs. The very next morning, the fallout began. Sports talk shows lit up, not with highlights of touchdowns or last-minute plays, but with the anthem controversy. Clips of fans ignoring the song dominated ESPN, CNN, and social media feeds. And suddenly, the conversation shifted from football to race in America. Again, some black athletes spoke out immediately. One NBA star tweeted, "If they can't stand for a song that honors our struggle, what makes you think they stand for us at all?" NFL veterans reminded viewers that black soldiers once fought under a flag that didn't fight for them. To them, singing "Lift Every Voice and Sing" wasn't division, it was recognition. But critics pushed back even harder. Conservative commentators blasted the performance as woke theater. They argued America doesn't need two national anthems, just one. Some even claimed the NFL was pushing fans away by forcing politics into sports. And in a way, the boos and empty seats were used as proof. Caught in the middle were millions of everyday fans, black and white, who didn't know how to feel. Was this anthem a celebration of black resilience, or a symbol of permanent separation? That uncertainty became the real story, a story far bigger than the game itself. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about football. It wasn't even just about a song. It was about something much deeper, whose voices get heard, whose pain gets recognized, and whose pride gets validated. Think about it. If a simple anthem can trigger this much division, what does that say about the state of unity in America? Why does one side see it as empowerment while the other sees it as a threat? And most importantly, why are we so quick to dismiss something that wasn't even written to divide, but to heal? Lift every voice and sing is not a weapon. It's not a wall between black and white. It's a reminder of survival, of resilience, of a people who refuse to give up even when the system gave them every reason to. Ignoring it doesn't erase the history. It only proves how uncomfortable America still is with facing its past. The truth is, no anthem, black or white, will unite us on its own. Unity isn't sung into existence. It's lived. It's practiced. It's in how we treat each other when the cameras aren't rolling and the stadium lights go out. So maybe the real question isn't, should we sing the Black National Anthem? Maybe the real question is, are we ready to listen when it's sung?